Back pages today. Let's start with this, shall we? Then on the back of the Sun, it's a big exclusive by Charlie Wyatt, who writes this morning that Kieran McKenna is a shot contender for the England job. Eddie Howe, Graham Potter, and Lee Carsley are the three front runners, but the Northern Irishman, 38 years of age, has emerged as another candidate after leading Ipswich to back-to-back promotions to the Premier League. The FA technical director John McDermott is drawing up the shortlist, and he worked with McKenna when he was a youth coach at Tottenham. McDermott was Spurs' head of coaching and development, and he is a huge fan of what McKenna has achieved. Kieran McKenna as the New England manager, is it too early for him, or is he ready for it?
Well, I'll be very surprised if that's where we end up. But you can see where it's come from is because obviously John's worked with them before. Obviously knows his credentials and what he's about. Is it probably a bit too early? For me, I think it is. I'd like to see how he fares this year, in the Premier League, and to see what, with the team, because he had a really strong squad in the Championship last year and he done well, and we all praised him for that. So him now being in that situation where he's expected probably to go down, or he's going to be one of the favourites to go down, what can he produce against the top level managers? So it's going to be really interesting year season for him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know John McDermott, and he's a really good guy. He knows his stuff, John, and I know that he kind of bred Kieran McKenna as a coach through the youth system at Tottenham. He brought him in. Kieran McKenna, I played with him in the reserves, growing up through the ages. He's a really nice lad. Bit boring on a night out, but he's good.
Why does it always have to go back to a night out with you?
A bit dull on a night out. But he's a great lad. He used to drive around the worst car, though. He had a green Corsa. It was horrible. He's like,
bet he hasn't now, has he?
Yeah. Not struggling now, the boy. But fair play to him. He got released and he started doing some coaching, started doing his badges, and John McDermott kind of took him under his wing a little bit, brought him in at the Tottenham youth system, and Kieran then just went from strength to strength, and Man United ended up nicking him from Tottenham. Apparently his sessions are unbelievable. Like, his coaching and that is meant to be different class, and you've seen that with Ipswich. The England job, though, is like, it's a huge job, that, and you're dealing with. Look, he's been at Man United, so he's been dealing with big players. He was alongside Mourinho, and so he knows how to deal with big personalities. But to actually be the manager, Kev will know this, as being a coach to a manager is a different story. You got to deal with players who are sitting on the bench, superstars who, you're going away with England and they're not playing, and you got to be able to deal with them characters. I just don't know if it's a bit too early for him. I mean, you can't turn it down if you get off it. If John McDermott phones him up and says, do you want it, or do you want to come in for an interview, you're going to go, aren't you?
Of course, yeah.
So then of the names then that are on the list, Potter, Carsley and Howe, well documented, the three favourites. You, of course, would have come up against certainly two of the coaches, your time at West Ham. What direction would you personally like to see England go down?
Well, I think the biggest thing for them now is that they've got to get this appointment really right, and is it a style? What John will be looking for? Is it a style of what we want to do now? Do we want to become the, sort of high possession, high pressing team? And so you've got to sort of, again, what Jamie was just talking about. He knows what Kieran McKenna can do in terms of how he wants to play and what he's done for Ipswich. So what does Graham Potter bring to that? What does Eddie Howe? We've seen Eddie do really well at Newcastle, seen Graham do really well at Brighton. So I don't know. I couldn't answer it now. I think it's a really tough one for John at this moment in time. But what I would like to see is that we were going to be a bit, more adventurous in the next coming years in terms of using all the attacking flair and ability what we have anyway.
Yeah, Eddie Howe's obviously, if you're going to go English or stay English, you go Eddie Howe. Yeah. If you can get him out of Newcastle, it's going to cost you money. You got to look at him in terms of the project. He loves it at Newcastle. The fans love him, and it's a difficult one. But the one is obviously there. He's available, and you ain't got to pay anything for him. You can go and you can talk to him when you want. You can, have some real good meetings about things and where you want to take the football team, the philosophy you want to implement. Is Graham Potter. He's there. You can't forget he's a top manager, Graham Potter.
Yeah, do we forget that sometimes?
He's done a really good job in the Premier League, and he went to Chelsea. Chelsea's chaos. Look at the managers there.
It's a graveyard for managers at the moment, isn't it?
It's a graveyard for managers. It's a graveyard for centre forwards.
Yeah.
So, for me, Graham Potter, you can't get over the fact that he's a philosophy that he knows how he wants to do things. He's got a nice style. Can he implement that with the England team? Well, if he takes a job, we'll see. But I think you'll see, some decent football from him. He's an intelligent bloke. knows what he's doing.
Having been involved in the game, obviously the last couple of years, and obviously many years as a player. Any other names that we're not mentioning? Do you think is there somebody out there who you?
No, well,
you're a big
Kevin
fan
Nolan.
of? Yeah. Would you take Jeff? Would you take Jamie as your assistant?
Ellard as assistant.
Yeah.
Jude, just get on the end of this one, son. Jude, just get in his little pocket.
Do you know what? But if he's bad on a night out though, would you drop Jude Bellingham? Right, you got to be good on a night out, right?
Let me tell you now, Jude ain't struggling on a night out.
What do you mean?
He's living the dream, the boy. He's him and Trent out in Miami.
Yeah, I know, living their best life.
Living
right?
their best life. I wonder if Trent's I see him sign a Real Madrid shirt the other day.
I know. Does that mean Trent's Madrid confirmed?
That's poor. That I'm not having that. We can't be having that. Trent.
What's wrong with that?
Nah, you can't be signing Real Madrid shirts when you're a Liverpool player.
You not think?
Nah. We'll talk about it though. We've got loads to talk about, but I'm not having that. I think he'll be out of Liverpool. I think he might go Real Madrid. Right, Sammy boy, I'll see you in a bit.
Cheers, Jake.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.